Morning. Welcome to the Center for Spiritual Living, Greater Pittsburgh. What a beautiful day. I'm going to start by saying thank you to Kathy for the wonderful opening, for Marianne for the great treatment, and Irene for that reading that was written by Reverend Raymond Anderson, Joyce for the beautiful meditation, and Jesse Powers for that incredible song, The Light, Let the Light Come Through. So today's talk is on getting in the flow. That the river of life, right? The flow of coming and going, which is the March global themes for the Centers for Spiritual Living organization. So as you all know, I'm an avid student of the science of mind, the teachings of the Buddha, the wisdom of the 12-step programs, and the law of attraction, as taught by Abraham Hicks. So you're going to hear a little bit of all that in today's talk. Buddhist practice. Sitting with palms wide open upward. We allow what comes to be exactly what it is without judgment. And in doing so, it becomes kind of like our friend, whatever it is. As time passes, what is will leave. And we will feel a sense of sadness as it goes. And we continue to sit, experience the sadness. With our palms wide open, something new arrives. And we begin a new experience. We allow the experience to unfold rather than being defined by it. Pretty amazing and yet very simple practice. Not always easy, but it is simple. There are some things I've learned that have really helped me along the way. Part of that comes from the Buddha's core teaching, the Four Noble Truths about suffering, which is also sometimes, I like to call it unsatisfactoriness, right? Whatever it is, it's unsatisfactory. I don't like it. I need to get rid of it. Or there's something I really, really, really like, and I can't let it go. Either way, I'm stuck in a sense of craving, right? So the truth is that all beings experience suffering. That's the first of the Four Noble Truths. The second is the cause. The cause of suffering is craving. Craving something to be different or craving something to never leave. Both are impossible. So fourth noble truth is the path, the end of suffering, which is the Eightfold Path. Aha, that's a trick, right? And the journey expands into the Eightfold Path. And I'm just going to go over these really quick because there's a lot. Each one of these could be a talk on their own. And they are absolutely a part of what Ernest Holmes taught in the Science of Mind. Jesus taught. It's what the wisdom of the 12-step program teaches us. And it's certainly all a part of the law of attraction as well. So that there are 8 ways of being in the world, right? And the first one is a right view, to know the truth, that nothing is neither good nor bad. It simply is, right? That's the right view. The right intention, a free mind from evil. Evil is live spelled backwards. So if it's not life affirming, it's not the right intention. Speech, say nothing that hurts others. Right action, work for the good of others. Right livelihood, respect life, be of benefit to all. Right effort, resist evil, self-sabotaging behaviors. Pay attention to them, learn how to find a better way. Right effort, or I did that already. Right concentration, practice meditation. Learn how to work with the mind. Learn how to put our attention on what it is we desire more of and let all the rest simply go. And number 8, right mindfulness. Learn to control our thoughts. Learn to work with our thoughts. The way a carpenter works with wood, the way a potter works with clay. I love in Turning Your Mind into an Ally, Sakon Mipam Rinpoche talks about learning to work with your mind is like learning to work with a wild horse, and how it takes kindness and compassion and time to begin to develop a relationship with this incredibly powerful animal that's so beautiful, to turn it into something that is skittish and afraid and filled with fear, into something that we can trust, that we can work with, that we harness and we turn into something that allows us to go places we could have never gone had we not taken the journey of working with the horse to begin with. Same with our mind. So examples of the natural flow of life, right? Waking up, all those, right? Eightfold Path was all about waking up to how we can be a better version of ourselves. The natural flow, examples, the tide, right? In and out, that's the example with the hands, right? Good comes in and good goes out. We don't make any of that a problem. We simply feel it and be with it as it's happening. Day to night, light to darkness, right? Never fear the darkness. It's a natural part of who we are. We make mistakes, and yet we are the light. In breath and out breath, right? Birth, childhood, adolescence, young adult, mature adult, senior, elder, teacher, and transition. Joy is the yin, sadness is the yang. They are intrinsically connected with one another, right? I experience joy. I never want to not experience joy because I'm afraid of feeling sad. I want to know that with great joy comes great sadness. And that's a natural part of life, not to make sadness wrong or bad, but to simply experience it. Allow it to be okay. Expanding, setting aspirations and intentions. It's a part of the Buddhist practice. It's not looking at where we've been or the problems anymore, but it's looking at what can be. What is the potential that lies ahead? Wanting happiness for self and others. Choosing ease and grace. These are aspirations and positive intentions. Raising our own vibration. Helping to raise the vibration of others. We can't help but do that when we're raising our own vibration. Choose to be an uplifter. First, I must uplift myself, right? And when I learn to do that, I naturally begin to be able to help be an uplifter of others. Common blocks. What are common blocks to this whole process? Well, Narcotics Anonymous has an amazing information pamphlet called The Triangle of Self-Obsession. That triangle is fear, anger, and resentment. All three of the worst self-sabotaging states of being and emotions that cause us to chase our tail and not succeed at the level that we have the potential. What are some of that? Fear, anger, resentment breed ignorance. Not knowing, not wanting to know, right? Stubbornness, corruption, all in our own minds and hearts. Indifference, intolerance, revenge, meanness, bitterness, victim consciousness, being sorry for ourselves, paddling upstream. So we have a saying in Buddhism, it says, I am my own worst enemy, and yet I'm the only one who can save me, and I can't do it alone. I've got to find a teacher, someone who's walked the path and found a better way. I don't have to figure it all out myself, and yet no one can do my work for me. It's up to me. I've got to be the one that picks up the work and begins to apply it in my life, in my mind, in my heart. The value of rituals, ceremonies, and rites of passage. It's just another way of looking at life, right? Signposts on the journey of growing and expanding consciousness. The process of becoming more self-reliant, right? More self-sufficient. Not to say that we're going to do it alone, and yet beginning to know what we're capable of achieving in this lifetime when we apply ourselves. When we start something brand new, we're an initiate, right? We're trying something for the first time. We're learning. We're a student. We continue through the studying and the teaching process until we get it, and we end up in a graduation ceremony, right? Which is called a commencement, which is actually symbolizing or marking the beginning of a new beginning as an initiate in a new career, right? Bumps along the way. Well, first, quick, the birthing process. So going through that creation process of becoming an initiate, there's a birthing process. Writing this talk, there was a birthing process. Oh my God, if I've written like way too many pages of what this talk could be about to get to what it is really about. So, Ernest Holmes teaches seed, soil, plant, right? So that seed is the first thought, the idea, the vision that comes, right? So I've had some amazing visions that are part of this process, right? First, it comes as it is like a divine download, right? Ernest, Ernest Holmes talks about this. Abraham Hicks talks about this. But I was living in LA back in '98, and I would drive near Burbank, and something would just tell me, you're going to live there one day. And I'm like, what? I lived in West Hollywood. No, man, I was like doing my thing, right? This was, yeah. So, and in 2016, I ended up moving there, and I lived there for almost 4 years. Loved it. Totally different world, though. I was a totally different person. I was 36 when I was there in West Hollywood. I came back, I was in my 50s in Burbank, and well on my way to becoming a commercial airline pilot, a successful commercial airline pilot. Here's a good one. I was standing in front of the Newman Center on a Sunday for the Sunday service there, and the Pittsburgh Marathon was running, and the course went right in front of the Newman Center, and I was watching all these runners, and something inside of me said, you're going to be doing that. You're going to be running that marathon. You're going to be running the marathon. And I'm like, whoa, really? Oh my God, that's going to be so much fun. That was in 2005. I was a heavy smoker. I started to run later that summer to help me quit smoking. I got into a graduate program in 2007. I graduated that in 2010. That was when I finally put cigarettes down for good. And in 2011, I ran my first marathon. Karmacholing. I was up at the Buddhist Retreat Center in 2013 as a volunteer and doing some long meditation and a lot of classes and studies. And when I was asked to work there, I said, I need to meditate on this. And I began to see myself flying jets. And I'm like, what? How's that going to happen? I hadn't flown in 12 years. I didn't have any money. I'd never flown jets. And I got this, dude, man, can you just say yes? Okay, let's see. Bookkeeper, for Dharma Center, fly jets. I'll fly jets, and wow, 2014, 6 months later, I was recurrent. And a year after that, I got my first offer to fly for a commercial airline. And you all know the story from there. So the day-to-day practices, right? Chop wood, carry water. Pema Chodron talks about the beginning, the middle, and the end. And they all have a flow. They all have a sequence. They all have an energy. They all have a richness in our experience. In fact, every ending is a new beginning, right? Bumps along the way. I make mistakes. That's okay. I'm not a mistake. Noticing my self-talk, right? Chogyam Trungpa says meditation is all about learning to become our own best friend. I love that. So today I was I was getting ready to go fly. We were catching our van at 5:30 in the morning, and one of my flight attendants, Pedro, didn't show up on time. It was 5:30. We were supposed to be leaving, and he was nowhere to be found. So I went in to the front desk, and I asked him to call his room. No answer. So I go back out to the van. I wait a couple more minutes, and I go back in, and I ask for his room number, and I go up and knock on his door, and he answers the door without his uniform on. I say, dude, man, we're supposed to have been gone like 5 minutes ago. Hurry up. He says, I will. Like, okay. And so I go back down to the van, and as I'm walking, I remember there was a time where I had gone out on a run on an early morning before flight, and I missed my turn back to the hotel, and I ended up running way further than I ever imagined. And it took me forever. In fact, when I got back to the hotel, it was 10 minutes before the van was supposed to leave, and all the crew was waiting in the lobby. And I was just coming in from this run, all sweaty. And I said, oh my God, I'm sorry. And I ran to my room. I showered. I threw my uniform on. And the crew said, it's okay. Just hurry up. And I threw my uniform on, and I ran back down to the front door. And I was down like 2 minutes after we were all supposed to leave. And so we got out almost on time. So I knew that if I didn't make it a problem, And then if I was able to just be kind, right? I knew Pedro was beating himself up for his own mistake. I don't need to add to the problem. Told me it was okay. Glad he could join us. And on the way to the airport, I told him the story of me going out for my run, coming in late, and it all worked out. And it did. We had challenges when we got to the airplane, but you know what? We worked through each and every one of them. I had to restart the airplane at one point to clear some digital messages, and it cleared, and we still got off the gate on time and arrived at the gate in Dallas a little early. So it does work out. Albert Einstein says, there are only two ways to live your life. One as though nothing is a miracle, the other as though everything is a miracle. And I believe it is. I really do. In fact, I have rituals and ceremonies, in rites of passage, continuation, marking times of transition, right? How we start my day. So my entire day is a ritual, right? My morning ritual, one of my favorite, before I set my alarm to wake up a little early, usually almost 2 hours before I have to walk out the door. And the first thing I do is I just lie in bed and I just relax. I just imagine myself getting ready to just float down a river. And I take all the fears and worries and concerns that I have for the day, and I pull them out and I put them into these giant hands that are right in front of me, knowing that those hands are fully capable of handling everything beyond my limited thinking. So I don't have to do it. I'm surrendering all the stress, all the worry, all the concern, everything that's sabotaging my ability to have an amazing experience of ease and grace as my day unfolds. And then I get in the river, totally free, unencumbered, no sense of worry or concern or stress, just a relaxing flow, and imagining myself as I'm just going down, as this river's carrying me towards everything I ever wanted to experience in my life. There's no swimming upstream. There's no efforting. There's no trying to get it and thinking I might not. It's just allowing it to unfold. Kind of the way this talk is unfolding. I get out of bed after that. I make myself a cup of tea or a decaf coffee. I pull up my cushion. Sometimes the pillow's on the bed at the hotel. I get up and I meditate for 15 or 20 minutes. Begin to work with the mind. Then I wake up the body, do a little exercise, get the heart pumping, get the blood circulating, get my mind awake, my body awake. Feeling strong helps me as I move into a day that is like when I'm flying multiple flights in unknown weather conditions and challenges with schedules, and it pays to feel confident and strong and healthy. I do sometimes a little uplifting reading the Science of Mind magazine or Come a Children. Then I do the refreshing spa treatment, right? Wonderful shower, hot shower, shampoo, my favorite conditioner, moisturizer I love on my face and body, fragrance that Ramon bought me, that just helps me, absolutely put the finishing touches on feeling really good and fresh as I move out into my day. I arrive early, I do my work. I do some prep work for the flights that are coming. So I have a little idea of what's coming ahead. I begin to brief the other flight attendants and crew as we're on the shuttle. Be like a child. Expect good things. I just relax. I have this crazy ability to just imagine, everything is supporting me. Everything wants me to succeed. If I let it, right? If I just get myself out of the way, if I got the fear and the worry taken care of, it's just not an issue. It's not for me to think about. I've turned that over. Mind to think about is raising vibration. So it's become a vibrational snob. That's a Abraham Hicks thing, right? Pay attention to how I feel, because when I'm not feeling good, when I feel my energy dipping, I feel myself getting depressed or getting concerned or worried, I'm thinking about something in a way that source is not, that my higher power is not, right? So I got to stop the descent. Hey, it's okay. It's okay. It's okay to think that way. Yeah, it is. It is. Is that what I want to think? No. It's okay though. And so that stops the descent, right? It levels me off. And then I begin to think, hey, what do I really want to experience? And I begin to shift that energy upward. And thoughts begin to come to me is, how can I achieve that? Wow. Instead, wow. And it begins to happen. And to me, that's what being childlike is like. It's expecting good things. and working with our mind in such a way that we begin to become open to that becoming our experience. Acknowledge the miracles, acknowledge when things work out. Oh my gosh, there's so many times during the day where I'm like, oh my God, bing, that was easy. Wow, thank you, thank you, thank you, thank you, thank you. And it just sets me up for more wonderful things working out in ways beyond my comprehension. Wow, that worked out so good. In the morning with Pedro, in the way it unfolded, we were late to the airport. We still got off the gate early, and we arrived at the gate in Dallas early, right? And we had multiple challenges along the way. And I didn't make any of them a problem. I just worked through the checklist, got them all taken care of, did the proper procedures and protocols, and boom, off the gate on time. Because I allowed it, right? I didn't make it a problem. I just knew, hey, what do we got to do next? All right, pull out that checklist. Let's do that checklist and move right along. Say yes. Yes to the fun. Exploring, adventures. Find a practitioner. Develop a relationship with a practitioner. Stay connected. Share the joy and the sorrow of the journey. When the rubber meets the road, going deeper inward when the challenges get tough. What works? Asking for prayer, right? From my practitioner. If I can't get myself pivoted around and going upwards, call my practitioner. They can help, right? They can do treatment work for me. And I do. I have a wonderful relationship with several wonderful practitioners. Praying, meditating on my own, visualization, using imagination. I have little snacks that I use to keep me in my chair so I can study for hours and hours on end. Goldfish and Cheez-Its and Coke Zeros. My little secrets. Embracing discomfort, right? Allow things to become messy. Don't quit before the miracle happens. Treat and move my feet, and then trust. Focus on the outcome, not how it's going to happen. As Abraham Hicks says, you never get it wrong and you never get it done. Life just keeps flowing because it's a river, right? Celebrate the journey. It is the destination. I love this. Jesse Jennings says, if we ask God for bread, will God give us a stone? No, but God won't give us bread either. Instead, we'll be handed a cookbook. Let's all get out there and enjoy preparing our own favorite fresh new recipes. I love you all. I bless you all. And so it is.